Welcome everyone to eOne Office Hours. Do this once a month now where we'll go over a topic in Smart Connect or Popdock, or sometimes it might be a combination of the two. And then you have an opportunity to ask any questions that you might have about the topic of the month. So we'll jump right into our topic. This week is the ability to use Popdock for a data migration. So if you're migrating from an older system to a new system, you may not necessarily want to migrate 10, 20 years of history into your brand new fresh database and then pay for all of that storage and be bogged down by it. Rather, you could store that data in a database somewhere else and then just reference it with Popdock. So the scenario that I'm going to use in this example is a GP to Business Central migration. So I'm going to keep my historical data in GP, bring over just my starting balances, and then my new transactions that I have will be in Business Central moving forward. So I'll show how you can use Popdock so that you're able to view that historical data along with your current Business Central data. So to give you an idea, if we're in Popdock, you can set up as many connectors as you want to as many different systems as you want. I have multiple Business Central connectors, and I have a GP and a nav. So the same scenario would work if you're going from an on-premise nav database or from NetSuite or any other sort of system that you want to connect to. So anything that's stored in a database, we could do a direct SQL database, anything like that to get that data. You can store it wherever you want. So in this case, I set up the GP connector, which is pretty straightforward. You just connect it up to a GP Dynamics database, along with any company databases that are on that server. And then Popdock knows how to go through that and find all of your extenders, smart list builder, smart list designer, and then any tables or views that you might have in that database. So it's very quick and easy for you to get what you need. And then on the Business Central side, we'll use your published API, web services, and pages. So you can pick any connector you want. So I decided to use my Business Central one and tell it I want to create a new list. If we go add a custom list, then it gives you a couple of different options. A compare list would allow you to see which records either exist or don't exist in both data sets. Join list allows you to just combine that data. A merge list, which is the one we're going to use in this example, allows me to merge two data sets into one list so that you can't even tell really which database it came from. So I'm going to call this just merge demo. So if I wanted to merge some data, we'll just say, actually I'll put it in my custom list. Next it asks me what list do you want to use. So I'll say from what connector. So my Business Central production connector, grab my sales, and I'll say I just care about posted records. So I'll say give me all of my posted sales invoices, and I'll say use every company. Then I'm going to say from GP, give me my sales, and I also say give me sales transactions, again from all of my companies. And then I could add more. So if I had other GP instances, if I want to throw in some nav data or something else, I could do that. There's no limit to how many I can add. Then I can go to fields and I can create a field. So I'm going to say customer, right? What is this field? And I'll just say it's a string field. In my posted sales invoices, so from Business Central, it's going to be my customer number, and it's going to be my customer number in GP as well. So I can add that. Now it's merging that data. If I wanted to, I can merge other fields. So for every field, it's going to prompt me to select it from all of my tables of what that field is going to be. Actually, I think they call it I don't know, remember what the field was called, but I could select any field that I want. So I can determine, even though the data structure is different, I can determine whatever field I want to use for it. No, that's not the right field. And then that's added. Out of the box, it's not there yet. So if I go to the list page and come back, so merge demo. So now if I go back to my fields list, there are some merge fields. So it'll tell you which company it came from, what the source connector was, what the source list was. You have that extra data if you decide that you need it. Then we go down to our default fields and select which ones we want to show by default. So I could just say show all, and then it'll default all of those fields. And then I could add it as a new connector. Because I didn't build a very pretty one there, I just threw a couple fields on it. I have one that's pre-built, bringing sales invoices from BC and from GP. So on the left here, you can see what connector it came from and what database. So if I were to filter this down and say, yeah, let's say we only care about the air and fit ones. So we can see our Business Central rows, we can see our rows down here. If I wanted to, I have all of the normal Popdock functionality to add additional filters, to add any other columns that I want. I could also add additional detail down here. So it's going to be very quick and easy for you to get what it is that you need. I can also, for example, change this into a chart. So here it's giving me just a tree map of all of these accounts. So we could see that this was the biggest account, all the way down to which ones are smaller. So if I were to click on one of these, why is it saying a category is not selected? It should give me the detail of the individual lines that were used to create each of these. So very powerful. So if I was maybe interested in something else, I could quickly change this, give me the count of customer number. And so we can see, yeah, it thinks that that's a currency, but there was like 106 transactions for that one, and there was only 2 for this one. So it gives you all of that ability, even though it's pulling it from 2 different data sets. Now, it's nice that it exists in Popdock, but we can also use the same data in Business Central. If we go to the Popdock extension and I select a list, I can get my GP data, my nav data, data from CRM, whatever it is that you want, and bring it in, and then you're able to view it without navigating out to another system to view that data. Same can be done on the CRM side. So if I went to ERP invoices, I could use my merge list here and show all of that detail to the sales team, even though it doesn't exist in just Business Central or just in your GP nav historical database. We can really merge that data together and present it wherever the end user is. So it's very powerful to be able to put it in the hands of the user, even though we didn't move 80 gigabytes of data and take up all of your Business Central storage, we can just throw that on a cheap SQL database. Don't see any questions, so I'm going to continue on to training. We have a bunch of new trainings coming up in 2021. We just released the training schedule, so I haven't updated my slides yet, but you can find that on the eOne blog if you're interested in attending one of our training sessions in the new year. If you have any topic suggestions, feel free to email those to officehours@eOne Solutions. We do review those and look for new and fresh ideas. And then as always, we have our support and professional services teams that are here and available to help you If you need any assistance with your implementations, we also have the Popdock support team, which is not listed here, but it'd be Popdock or support@popdock.com. All right. Well, thank you everyone for attending, and we'll see you again next month.